Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I thought I could catch you out there.
You did really. I was having me brew. Thanks very much.
Mashed together in a room we make the Office Blokes. You may notice Office Bloke Daz is wearing a hoodie today.
Yeah.
It's absolutely freezing.
Yeah,
It's got to be cold for him to wear a hoodie, let me tell you.
Yeah, and
honestly.
You know, the funny thing was, I was in the office before upstairs and I thought, it's getting a bit warm in here. So I walked into Danielle and Gainer's office and it was roasting. And I went, well, she went, turn the heating up in here, it's freezing. And I don't have any heating in my office.
No.
Sort of thing. So I was like, I come out of their office boiling. And I thought, I'm going to take my hoodie off. And then I just sat down for a minute. And all of a sudden I went freezing cold again. I went, nah, I'll leave it on. It is proper cold today. Was it about minus 7 or something? Was this morning?
Minus- your end, wasn't
minus
it?
7
Yeah.
were set off with the kids.
Really cold.
Yeah. Yeah, nippy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we like Conan and we like Bill Burr on this channel.
We do.
I don't know if anyone's noticed, but yeah. So Bill Burr went on Conan's podcast. I think we've done a clip of this.
We have. Yeah.
Yeah. Was he talking about Conan's shoes?
He
What
was.
Bill Burr was talking about?
It was, yeah.
Rings a bell, that. I
Yeah.
think so.
Well, Bill Burr's brother used to record his parents' arguments. That's weird.
It is really, isn't it? Why would you? But
Evidence.
maybe they were entertaining.
What was he recording it on, like a cassette tape, like playing record like an old school cop?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
It probably would have been, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Must have been.
Yeah, it is Tuesday, the 25th.
That mic is freezing.
I know, yeah.
Right? Just
Oh,
touching
isn't
me,
it?
it's freezing.
Anyway, let's do this. Bill Burr's brother used to record his parents' arguments.
I have empathy for like kids and animals.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
It's a nice start off.
It's
That's a
something.
starter kit.
It's
Yeah.
something. That's a step in the right direction.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
they
didn't
say-
mean to-
Jesus.
I didn't mean
No,
to.
they say that's
No,
what
you know what? I'm old enough to. I'll never satisfy you.
Bill,
That's a
they,
step in the right
they
direction.
say that is what would separate you from, say, a sociopath, a serial killer, is that you care about animals, you care about children. So that's good. That's good
There you
news for
go.
you today.
Because I've taken those polls. You ever see that poll? Are you a serial killer?
With a test.
Yes, I
Yeah,
have,
after the
I have
fourth-
taken that test.
after-
It has not gone well.
Yeah, exactly. After the fourth question, you're like, all right, let's. I don't need to take the rest of this.
Do you laugh
Am
at
I
the
a
pain
late-
and misery of others?
Uh,
I think we got that one.
if it's on TV, and I don't like. Look, I don't. I'm trying to think of something. Yeah, no, I think I do. Every time I saw that guy wipe out on his scooter, oh, it was amazing. He was this older guy.
Well, that's always funny though. People falling always.
Wait, an
makes me
older
laugh.
man was on a what? He was on a scooter?
He was on his scooter. He was riding like a Harley, and he came whipping out. It was one of those. I was on the other side of the road, and there was this concrete divider, and he was going too fast, and he couldn't make the turn, and he hit the concrete thing, and he high-sided and went like up and over, just like landed and just slid on his face.
Oh my
And I
god.
had to stop my car, right? And I was the first guy there. And he had rolled over on his back, and I walked up to him, and he was just like, unconscious, just going like, it's like spitting teeth.
Get to the funny part.
Oh my god.
The funny part is when this cop finally shows up. The guy was like fucking like 55. It's like, shouldn't you have been retired by now? When did you start becoming a cop and you're still driving a cruiser? So he pulls up and just completely could give a fuck. He just walked up to the guy. He had his hands in his pockets and he just looked over and he just goes, "You all right?" Yeah, it was. and
You'll
I
relate
just-
to this. When I was a kid, I don't know if you ever saw this, but there was some Christian network. Back then, there was nothing on TV. There
Right.
were a couple of channels. There was never anything good on. And there was this show that we used to watch that was made with sort of claymation puppets called Davy and Goliath.
Oh yeah.
And they always supposed to have a good moral about how to behave. Davy was a boy who would sometimes do naughty things, and then he'd learn his lesson, and it was put out by some association of ministers. I swear to God, my brothers and I would watch this because you would flip the channel, and they're bowling on one channel, and there's a Catholic Mass on the other channel. So you'd watch Davy and Goliath, because at least it was a story, and there was some claymation.
Right.
Anyway, Davy and Goliath go camping with the dad and the mom, and Davy goes off and he sees a well, and or he sees a beautiful natural pond, and he finds some paint, some raspberry paint, and he pours it into the pond, turning it all bright, red. And
It's a big bucket.
yeah, huge bucket with a little pond. And then he's laughing. He says, look, Goliath, I made a big thing of raspberry goop. And then the father comes in and yells at him and says, look what you've done. And all the animals are gathered around and they can't drink from this pond anymore because it's been ruined. My brothers and I were laughing so hard. We were crying. We were laughing so hard. I'm telling you, I understand exactly what you're talking about. I think these animals ended up dying. And my brothers and I are on the floor laughing that Davey had said, look, I made a big thing of strawberry goop. It's terrible. I'm sorry, but
There's no reason to...
That started off like one of your stories yesterday, Mike, when we were trying to do reactions.
Yeah, where was it
We were
going?
just waffling on.
Chipper.
Yeah, you're chipper. I'm glad it went somewhere.
I don't unlike my story.
strawberry goop. It's terrible. I'm sorry, but
There's no reason to apologize.
Yeah,
they
there
were
is.
claymation animals.
No, there is.
Like nobody
There
died.
is.
You know, did you ever pour raspberry paint into a pond?
No, I
So
saw
it's
that,
fine.
but if I had,
You can
know,
sit there and laugh. You know what I love is when Davey every once in a while would get into a fight and he would get the shit kicked out of him. Because it was claymation, it didn't have the money. His hair was still perfect, and then they just put a couple of strands of clay on his forehead to indicate that Davey got his ass kicked. They have no idea what we're talking about. This show was on 65 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm trying to explain our childhoods. This is what it was like back then. There's nothing to watch, nothing to do, and occasionally someone in the house would lose their temper in a way that would frighten you, and then it was never spoken about again.
Yeah, that was it. My brother, I don't know if I'd ever tell you this. My brother was like a genius, man. He used to, my parents used to argue. He had a dual cassette boombox, and he used to record the argument and then put music underneath it. And one of the greatest ones ever was he put Led Zeppelin No Quarter, which has this really, John Paul Jones plays this haunting keyboard. It was right there. It was scored perfectly because it started off slow with them going back and forth, and then gradually, and just Robert Plant, close the door, put out the light. And right as Bottom's drums, came in. My dad, fuck, no, get the fuck out of here. Dude, we used to listen to that fucking thing for like years, and then we finally played it for my dad, and he laughed his ass off. I thought it was hilarious. He thought it was fucking hilarious. He never understood anything. We had him watch The Great Santini one time, hoping that he would get it, and he didn't. He ended up just loving the movie and just walking around going, I am the Great Santini. We're like, no,
it's about a dad who's very abusive to his son.
Yeah, who loves his family but doesn't understand that he's slowly killing everybody.
Yeah. And your dad watched that and thought, thank you for showing me
he thought
this uplifting film about how we should all behave.
It was like Sleepless in Seattle. When Harry met Sally.
Funny storyteller, isn't he?
He's a good storyteller.
Yeah, not just what he says it.
Wonder where he gets some of his angst from and everything, listening to his parents arguing or something.
Yeah.
Listening to recordings of your parents arguing.
Listening to recordings of it as well.
The best thing is his brother putting the music on with it.
Yeah, good touch that, isn't it? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, those two together are just such a great combination, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's obvious they're really good friends.
But Burr, just the way he tells stories is just like second to none.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant storyteller. But I mean, Conan, I think he could be like with pretty much everyone, couldn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he's that good at host and sort of bouncing off him and everything. I think everyone can.
Yeah.
But Bill Burr's a top.
Yep, nice.
Brilliant. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Don't forget like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one.
Cheers. Guys.